What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we have to talk about Jurgen Klopp, who blasted Liverpool fans for the lack of Anfield atmosphere in the first half against West Ham United, and probably he was also thinking about the Liverpool-Man United game. So what do you think about this? In the comments below I will give you the exact quotes of what Jurgen Klopp said, and I will also react, give my opinion, but we will also hear from some prominent Liverpool fans like the Spirit of Shankley supporters group, and also what Jamie Carragher thought about the incident. So first, Jurgen Klopp said, "I was not overly happy with the atmosphere behind me," and he said this after Liverpool beat West Ham 5-1. He said, "I wondered what they wanted, what those fans wanted. We need Anfield on Saturday against Arsenal. We need Anfield on their toes without me being in an argument with their coach or whatever. If you are not in the right shape, give your ticket to someone else." I think that last bit is the most damning, because he thinks that if you are not there to shout for 95 minutes to support the team, then you should give your ticket to somebody else. Let me know what do you think about that in the comments below, because I think it's a little bit harsh. But until Liverpool and the whole Premier League lower the price of tickets, you can't expect too many young fans, I'm talking 25 years and below, to go to the games and to sing their hearts out for 95 minutes. Don't get me wrong, there are some older fans as well who sing their heart out and who support the team, especially in the cup. There are some older fans who have been probably season ticket holders for 30-40 years as well. I have a lot of respect for them, don't get me wrong, but they are not the guys who will stand up throughout the whole game and sing and shout and scream at the game. They are a lot more chilled, and of course there are a lot of tourists and fans coming from abroad and from other areas, and I mean, this is where sadly English football is going. Look at Germany. I think they are the perfect model for how football should be. They have a cap of how much a ticket can cost, and it's very affordable. Even university students can afford to go to games regularly, while in the Premier League you have some of the highest ticket prices in the world. And it's not like the Premier League clubs are desperate for cash, because they have the highest TV revenues, much higher than Germany, for example. So the Premier League clubs could actually afford to lower the ticket prices, but there are so many people waiting for season tickets, and there are so many people that want to go to Liverpool games. You can't really discriminate, because that's against probably European law. But as Chris Williams, journalist, said, unfortunately, until the stands behind the goal have an average age of around 25 and the price is somewhere in the region of £25, you won't get the raw youth into the stadium in massive numbers who do nothing but sing for 90 minutes. And I think the atmosphere was a lot better in the Liverpool-West Ham game than it was in the Liverpool-Man United game. That game, the Man United game, was so flat at Anfield, and a lot of fans complained about it, and rightfully so, because I'm not sure why, but maybe most Liverpool fans expected Liverpool to just cruise to an easy victory, and that's not how it works in these big games against Man United. And when the crowd doesn't get going, it affects the team, and if the team can't score a goal, then you need the crowd to inspire them, to urge them on. And I think Liverpool fans need to be absolutely vocal, and it's nothing unusual, I think, in what Jurgen Klopp said, because Jurgen Klopp says this 20 times during a season, that we need Anfield, we need the fans, we need them to shout. And maybe he was a little bit harsher than usual, or maybe he was a little bit more honest than usual in his opinion. But another Liverpool fan who actually goes to the games regularly, I would love to go to Anfield regularly, but I live 2,000 kilometers away from Liverpool in Hungary, so it's almost impossible to get to Anfield and Liverpool without a huge financial outlay, and I can't afford it, frankly. The main stand is probably the worst in the ground, a Liverpool fan who is going to the game said, and it's not all tourists in there. There are a lot of season ticket holders. Start singing and there's silence around you. The club needs to position all those who want to sing, so there is balance around the ground, and spread out those who don't want to sing, so there is not a hundreds or thousands of people all sitting together who are silent, who don't want to sing, who don't want to shout, who don't want to stand up. And I mean, if you stand up in the main stand, some people would shout at you to sit down. I also heard that complained. Yes, it's true that the Man United atmosphere was a bit flat, but that can happen to even the best fan bases. And I think the Liverpool fan base is actually the best in the country when it comes to creating an atmosphere. But you can't expect every game to be like a Champions League semi-final, second leg, the Chelsea second leg comes to mind, the Barcelona second leg comes to mind, where the atmosphere was the absolute best. But yet, against Man United, you would expect a much better atmosphere. So Jurgen Klopp is just making sure that everyone remembers to make the noise like he often does. The spirit of Shankley put out a very interesting statement about the Anfield atmosphere and Jurgen Klopp's comments. He said, "We have no argument with Jurgen Klopp highlighting issues around the Anfield atmosphere or the lack of it at times. It's something our fans discuss regularly. It is central to the club's and Anfield's identity and something the most passionate among us are keen to protect. It is no accident that opposing teams, coaches and fans speak about the Anfield effect. We all know how intimidating the crowd can make it for visiting sides, how the atmosphere can be second to none. Ask Barcelona, Dortmund, Man City or Arsenal last season. We do have concerns though about the lack of opportunities for young supporters to go to the game, catch the bug of loving going to the game and preserve this decades-long culture of the cup, and deep-rooted worries that our culture is being watered down by greater corporate offerings and out-of-reach ticket prices. That is echoed by supporters across the Premier League, across all clubs. We are in constant dialogue with Liverpool FC to explore ways we can improve the situation, get more youngsters to experience Anfield and to create the best atmosphere possible in every game." And I think that is an absolutely spot-on statement. Jurgen Klopp complaining about the atmosphere, I have no problem with it as well. I think he's entitled to do it because, yeah, Liverpool fans need to make more noise, especially against teams like Manchester United. At Anfield, hopefully against Arsenal, the atmosphere will be better because it can have a really big effect in the team. And Jurgen Klopp wants to win every game. That's why he's calling the fans to be more vocal, to be louder, because it literally helps the players. It literally helps Liverpool win more games at Anfield, even though our record this season at home has been absolutely magnificent. But to keep it going, that we have to get more singing and shouting fans into the stadium. But it's a very complicated topic because if you lower the ticket prices for some, then others will complain that you are discriminating against them. If you lower the ticket prices for everybody, which I think should happen, like in Germany, there should be a cap on ticket prices. I mean, look at the away fans. The Liverpool away fans are some of the best away fans in the country and probably in the world, because the away tickets are probably a lot cheaper and a lot more affordable to more people than getting to almost every game at Anfield. There are a lot more vocal away fans in the Liverpool away section than there are in the whole stadium when a lot of people sit in silence together. It's very, very difficult to create an atmosphere. I know I've been going to the Puskás Arena and I don't sit among the ultras, and sometimes when the team is a little bit flat, it's hard to get an atmosphere going, even though I try my best and I usually get my throat sore in the process. The solution is to talk about it properly, to have a proper debate on what should be done, on what could work and what doesn't, because I don't like this finger pointing that the local fans point to tourists and out of town fans. The young fans point at old fans and so on. Many will call for drastic reform without considering the logistics of it. But the reality for the people tasked with making it happen, that's really, really tough to make a decision on this. I mean, some people even suggested that we should scrap season tickets, which doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater comes to mind. Some people have waited 20, 30 years to get a season ticket. I mean, some people are on the season ticket waiting list at Liverpool for 20 years, and they had to pay to stay on that waiting list. And as long as a season ticket becomes available, the next in line gets that season ticket. Age is referenced on the regular, but what policy could possibly be built around age? I mean, a Liverpool fan asks, should I stop going to the game because I'm 47 years old? I mean, that's not the case. And as I said, you can't discriminate because of age, because there are some older fans who sing louder than some younger fans. But there should be definitely a clear and more sustainable way for younger fans to get into the stadium, to enjoy it and take up the responsibility of ramping up the noise. But how could that be made possible? That's the big question. Because it's a logistical nightmare for Liverpool to try and put in more rules when already the demand is so much higher than how many seats are in the Anfield Stadium. Even with the expansion, there are a lot more fans wanting tickets. And also, the ticket touts always find a way to get around these rules, new rules that the club makes. Banning mobile phones was mentioned by some fans, but that's clearly not enforceable in today's world. But also, you have to highlight it that Jurgen Klopp says you should give up your ticket and give it to someone else if you don't fancy singing and shouting for 90 minutes. But in the current system, it's almost impossible sometimes to do it. Plenty try to give up their tickets if they can't go to the game, or if they fancy maybe selling their seat for that particular game to somebody else. But the current system, Liverpool ticketing system, doesn't really allow you to do that. Probably Jurgen Klopp is not aware of that. He doesn't know the ins and outs of how difficult it is to get tickets to Liverpool games. And also, Jurgen Klopp is probably unaware of the growing corporate offer at Anfield, or indeed just the general reinvention of football since the 1990s. And those running the game, the big clubs, including Liverpool, wanted football to appeal to all classes and all countries, not just the working class as it was before. They collectively moved aggressively to make that happen. And what we have now is the result of that. And because a young local crowd that can walk in together off the street, stand together and sing, scream and shout is more likely to pump up the volume at Anfield. But how do you make that happen within this modern football era? We have a small amount of £9 tickets for local youth fans, local young fans, but that is hijacked sometimes by ticketing touts. That's the problem. Sometimes they buy up these tickets and sell them on for a big profit. Another problem is some tickets that appear online at huge prices aren't even sometimes real tickets, and ticketing touts and touting is also closely affiliated with organized crime as well. What Liverpool Football Club should do is lay out the numbers on how many are in the Liverpool membership scheme, and also like what are the numbers around it, what is the actual picture, because it definitely might improve the quality of conversation around this topic. And also you have to also ask how have the acoustics of Anfield Stadium been affected by the 3 new huge stands now being expanded, of course. How does that affect the acoustics of Anfield? Because it's not as a closed stadium as it was before. It's a much bigger stadium. So has the acoustics been affected by that? Liverpool should do some research on that. So let me know, where do you stand on this debate about the Anfield atmosphere? It has been a fascinating discussion to read online, and I read the Liverpool forums and the Liverpool Reddit, and on Twitter I read a lot of fans' opinions. So let me know, where do you stand on this debate in the comments below, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.